And I'm live. That is pretty cool. Today is 8th of December 2025, Monday, and yes, I am late. I had to go to college. But now let's begin. I don't know code. Day 8. Let's go. And these are the only languages. I have to remove Ruby. My bad. I have to remove Ruby from this. We did in Ruby the last time, so yep, cool. Ruby's gone, and these are the only remaining languages: Zig, Rust, Swift, Python, C++. And we will spin this wheel 3 times, and whatever the language is that the wheel lands on, the third time will be the language with which we'll solve the today's advent of code. Spin number one. Spin uno. Swift would have been cool. Let's go. Spin number two. And this would have been Swift. Let's go. And the third spin, the language with which we are going to go forward. If it is Swift, that would be cool, I think. Rust. Okay, let's go with Rust today. I don't have code and yep, Rust. I just have to kind of revise how to write in Rust. Yep, updates in Vim. Yep, and and yep. There was this game. Yeah, let's read this. Okay, so this is how we import things in Rust, import IO and stuff like that. And then const upper, that is how we declare some variable using the let keyword or using the const keyword, and to print things onto the screen we use this thing, print ln. Okay, and that is kind of okay. I think we know whatever we need to know about Rust. There are these functions. Functions might require a mutable references, a mutable reference. We can use the match statement. Let's just write the code for this thing. You see cd day 08 and text.txt. Let's see what the question is. And other people have already done the problem. My bad. I still haven't done this. Shit. Okay, let's go and problem number day number 8. And this is how the problem is going to be. Let's see. Okay. This is the problem. Equipped equipped with a new understanding of teleporter maintenance, you confidently step onto the repaired teleporter pad. Okay, you rematerialize on an unfamiliar teleporter pad and find yourself in a vast underground space which contains a giant playground. Across the playground, a group of elves are working on setting up an ambitious Christmas decoration project, even though through careful rigging, they have suspended a large number of small electrical junction boxes, not function but junction boxes. Their plan is to connect the junction boxes with long strings of lights. Okay, most of the junction boxes don't provide electricity. However, when two junction boxes are connected by a string of lights, electricity can pass between the two junction boxes. The elves are trying to figure out which junction boxes to connect so that electricity can reach every junction box. Okay, they even have a list of all the junction boxes positions in 3D space. For example, okay, these are in 3D spaces. Cool. Shit. Okay, minimum spanning tree or something like that. This list describes the position of 20 junction boxes as one junction box per line. Each position is given as XYZ coordinates. So the first junction box is at XYZ this to save on string lights, the elves would like to focus on connecting pairs to junction boxes that are close together as possible according to the straight line distance. In this example, the two junction boxes which are closest together are these two. Okay, by connecting these two junction boxes together, because electricity can flow between them, they become part of the same circuit. After connecting them, there is a single circuit which contains two junction boxes, and the remaining 18 junction boxes remain in their own individual circuits. Now, the two junction boxes which are closest together but are not directly connected are this and this. After connecting them, since this is already connected to another junction box, there is now a single circuit which contains three junction boxes and an additional 17 circuits which contain one junction box each. The next two junction boxes are this and this. After connecting them, there is a circuit containing 3 and a circuit containing 2 and 15 circuits which contain just one junction box. The next two junction boxes are this and this. Because these two boxes are already in the same circuit, nothing happens. Okay, this process continues for a while, and the elves are concerned that they don't have enough extension cables for all these circuits. They would like to know how big the circuits will be. After making 10 shortest connections, there are 11 circuits and one circuit which contains 5 junction boxes and one circuit 11 circuits. Okay, one contains 5 junction boxes and one contains 4 junction boxes, and two circuits which contain 2 junction boxes each, and 7 circuits which contain a single junction box. Multiplying together the sizes of the three largest circuits, 5 into 4 into 2, produces 48 into 5. Yes, your list contains many junction boxes. Connect together 1000 pairs of junction boxes which are closest together. Afterwards, what do you get if you multiply together the sizes of the three largest circuits? The sizes of the three largest circuits. Okay, that is something we. Which language do we have? Rust. Today is gonna be Rust. The thing says Rust. And that is cool. I would like to get like these new or low, more difficult languages early on. It is not early on, it is day 8, but still. And wait, the only thing that is going on in my head is n square. And n square actually, I don't just think it is actually doable, because this is like not even 1000 circuits. So yes, n square is doable. We can go n square, and what I want to know is, here we want to make 1000 pairs. Would like, okay, 1000 pairs, and okay, but are not directly connected. Are these? After connecting them, three junction boxes. Yep, already in the same circuit, so nothing happens. So these 1000 pairs have to be pairs of boxes which have not been connected yet. Well, n square is better than. Okay, that guy did like it was not exactly n power 12, but yeah, we can make fun. And how are you able to write power in here? Huh? Latex? Shit. I guess I'm not better. Uh, shit. Shit. Okay, that is some extreme power. Shit, 420. Can you write 137? 1 divided by 137. Gboard. Should you have some Google extension, I guess? Gboard. Wait, you are from your phone. That won't be possible. Lucian cannot be as a superscript. I thought maybe you can write some other things other than superscript. That is cool. That is cool. I will like copy this and I will go to some other YouTuber chat and I will just spam. will show my superiority. Yes, 1000. So very, very doable. Part1 dot rs, and we will not get LSP support, even though the LSP is running here. This thing does not know where the like root of the project is. So yeah, no LSP support here. Okay, that's no error. So, okay, how do we write? Problem. FN, not fun. Dot slash out and hello there. Let's go. But is it being okay? GitHub does not see the dot out file, so that is cool. Of writing my own keyboard for Kaiti script, this seems like a good feature to implement. Lol, I learned Flutter for this purpose, but forgot that I once thought of any such project. Now I'll be working on it after exam. Shade Flutter for keyboard Kaiti script. Okay, okay, you are on to something, and I guess maybe you did say you are on to something here, right here, 420. Yo, hello, long time no see. Okay, cool. Let's see how to read a file in Rust. Yep, reading a file. Standard FS read to string. Yes, that would be cool. And one, why would main return this thing? Uh, File path fs read to string, read this thing, question mark somehow, and contents. Then contents equal io fs. Shit, I do not have any LSV support, which I really do not like. At least I would like LSV support in Rust. So I can copy this text and go to a pre-existing Rust project. Euler, we have Euler, Mr. Euler here. Text dot txt puzzle input. CD source and main.rs, and here we will have hopefully LSP support. Okay, let x or data equals fs read fs. It is fs use std read to string dot slash text dot txt semicolon print ln data error implemented format display is not. How are they doing this thing? Content print ln read to string. There is a question mark at the end of read to string, but that should not be the problem. There's this read file line by line. That is what something we can do, but why are we returning this thing? That is strange. Long time illness. Okay, I hope everything is okay. Shit, let's go. 911. 2 out 10. Division is possible, I guess. Let's go. Broken divide. Learning Java would be too much of a hassle to learn. I know Java is bad. No error handling in reading. No wrap or anything. The question mark symbol passes the errors to the top of the function. Passes the error to the top of the function. So if someone else is calling this function, so like it will go through the stack. See that the main function is shown as returning something. Yep, it is returning something. Okay, so if someone else calls this, but they are calling a main function from somewhere else, that is funny, I guess. Wait, why main function returning this? Okay, I guess we'll have to do this. IO result and result empty. Result is a enum and two parentheses mean like nothing. IO use std. This is strange mismatching types enum error IO found until this syntax error return okay. Okay, like empty okay cannot find function okay, capital O, I guess. Out and dot slash out. Let's go. We are able to read the file. Okay, we do have the file as a string, hopefully. Okay, we do have the file. Now we need to split this file. Uh, Trim a string and Rust. I think there is a trim function, like literally a trim function. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yep. And now that is like, okay. Yep. There now we have one less line here. Main.rs. Cool. Okay. We have trimmed the function. Okay. If any error occur, the function would return the error and exit. Cool. I thought you were learning Rust. I was learning Rust. I have like stopped. And you learned it for longer period than I did. Wait, huh? Okay. I guess I did not optimize the way that you suggest. That is why the best way to learn something is directly jumping into making something with it and learn as you go. Pun intended. Yo. Yep. Trim start, trim end, and there were things like strings and stuff like that. Okay. Now we can read a file. So we do have the file as a string now. I'll split a string, not in Ruby, but in Rust. There is a literally a split method, it seems. Wait, in Rust, std stir splitting by delimiter. Yes, we can split by delimiter. Fruit type vector of strings literal split at this thing, and collect is something. Okay, okay, we can let data equals data dot split, add new lines dot collect, and here we will say vec. Okay, and how to iterate through a vector interest for range dot iter. Okay, this and this. Okay, now what we want is we want to go through each vector and convert that vector into, I think there were split function. Yes, there is. You can use the split on delimiter like new line, yep, and then on commas, yep, to get individual components of spaces. Rest provides iterators like C++. That is cool. Dot iterator. Iterators are cool. I mean, because I do understand them, so yeah, that is the only reason they're cool. Iterators, okay, and we would need another vector. Let coordinates type vec str, and yep, can you do this? New vec. We cannot do this. Also, do we have to like include? It is working, but whatever. It is. This thing is working. How? How to add elements to a vector in Rust? Push, push, push. And we do not have a string. What we do have is a structure. We'll call this point, which has x and in I32 and y and I32 and z and I32. Point is, should be uppercase. Okay, okay, and here we will say a vector of points, if that makes sense. Are never read fields in this structure, and they are never read. Anyways, for s in, if in does seem to be a thing, data dot iter. Okay, and yep, let's say let nums of vector str equals s dot split on comma dot dot collect, and we will say coordinates dot push something of type point here. How do I say that this is of type point? I guess just that. X, how to convert a string to a number is also something. It was pain in the apostrophe dollar dollar. Okay, that must mean something to you. Very annoying being a parser in C because there was no way of using something like delimiter. Yes, that is why. Yes, that is why I do not like C. It is like very. There's a quite a bit of overhead there. Yep, there is a lot of overhead. Why the Advent? I don't know what is happening these days because I was living under a rock. Wait, did you know that Norris won? And there are, yes, the confettis are still here. Look at this. Look at this, the British flag. And we can restart these again. So that is cool. This has been here since yesterday. Advent of code is cool. Like, what is Advent? Advent of code is on every day starting from 1st of December. You get a question, a problem, not a question. You get a problem and you have to solve it. Here is the description for the problem. Here is a test case. And then the input on which you have to solve the problem is this. Like, we'll solve the problem on this, and then we will submit our answer here. And then this is just part one of today's problem. After solving this, we will get part two of today's problem. Then we will have to solve that, and that is it. That is the whole thing. Just that. Java is bad. C is possibly lowest high level language. Yes, that is something you can say. It is not overhead. Overhead is what C++ and Rust. Okay, I would rather, if you are calling that overhead, I would rather prefer the overhead that is provided by C rather than going character by character in a string to like to split a string. Right, I would rather go with the overhead that is given to me by C++, because yes, that makes more sense. Okay, how to create a structure? Yes, and this is because I have not written a lot of code in this. Okay, so this thing comes like at the top. Oh shit, I guess I will have to create one let pt equals point x 0. Let's say x is 0, y 0, and then z 0, I guess. And then and coordinates dot push immutable cannot mutate immutable object. Let's say this is mutable, does not need to be mutable because this is not mutable. Okay, this thing doesn't need to be mutable, and that is good. To num in Rust. How to convert string to num in Rust? Let's see, string number string s dot parse nums 0 dot parse and expect cool. Okay, we do have the numbers. That is good. Now we just, okay, we do not need anything else. We just need the size of these circuits, sizes of these circuits. Okay, and straight line distance is crazy. I guess x2 minus x1 square plus x. Yes, straight line distance. So these should not even be integers. Hello, water. Long time no see. How's everything going on? C is straightforward. Or just use a switch case for explicit handling of error. Yes, we can do that. Facts stated. Okay, C is very simple and predictable. I can see a function in C and can concurrently predict if it is used anywhere in the code with C++ or Rust. Thanks to the name shadowing or function overwriting, I cannot. I mean, I cannot say about Rust because I don't know too much about Rust, but C++ is pretty cool. C++ is pretty good. You can use the same function name with different parameters and the associated definition of the function will run. Like, I don't see what is wrong with that. You have to be sure it's the same thing or not. Hell, I cannot even properly see where the error occurred thanks to the inheritance, which goes deeper. Okay, let's go. That is a nice one. That is a nice one. Hello, let's get some OS dev work done, get famous, and then appear in Portugal like Linus Torvald. Bro, that Linus Torvald podcast was pretty cool. Was pretty cool on Linus Tech Tips. Appear in podcast, Linus Torvald, and the world will care about our opinion then. Yes, I guess. Yeah, people will care. Right, two different things. But can you see the problem with it? It is, I mean, okay, I guess I'm not in the right place to say because the programs, most of my programs are just like at max 100 lines long, and I pretty much when I am debugging, I know where the error is before, like right when I see the error and that my function is not working properly. Most of the times I know exactly what went wrong. So yeah, and it is in competitive programming. I've not worked a lot on projects, so yes, your experience is different. Yeah, that would teach me. Euclidean distance. Let's go. By the way, the folder that we are in right now, it is named Euclid. Okay. These numbers should not be I32F, and that is good. Okay. Yep, that is good. And yep. Let's go. While or for let I equals 0, I is 1. I can do that, right? Shit. Shit, how to write a loop in Rust? Yes. Loop infinite? Nope. A while loop, for number in, okay, range. For in one, do something, and hopefully this uh is the second one inclusive from 1 to 4. That is good. From 1 to 4 inclusive or reverse if you want to. Okay. So this will run 1000 times. No, no. Let's say let rem equals 1000, and while rem greater than 0, we'll do something, and that is, yep, before doing this, we have to create a map. No, not a map. Yes, not a map, but 1000 by 1000 table would be good. No, 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 not 1000 by 1000 table. Shit, we have these things in the coordinates as a vector of a point, and that is fine. That is fine. Before here, what we need now, a better thing would be a set. Uh, Shit, the world is going to end. That would be nice. What we would need now here would be a vector of sets. Do we have a set in Rust? Do we have a set in Rust? We have collections, hash sets, B tree sets. Let's go. That's what we will need. Or like that is what I would prefer personally instead of a hash set. Wait, no. Uh hash shit. Hash set, B tree set. Okay, we'll use B tree set. Ordered, that is an unordered. Slower than hash set operations. Log n due to maintaining order use case when you need to iterate over elements and sorted. We do not need to iterate over elements and sorted. Okay, we will go with this. Faster. They are saying it is faster. But in C++, it is sometimes slower. Hash set compared to the normal ordered set. Okay, hash set. Yes, we'll need hash set. Before that, we need a vector and a very big vector. 1000 by 1000 vector is what we need. Yep, we need 1000 by 1000 vector. I was working on a project. I was waiting to create my own custom binary file. Share. There was someone else in the Discord. Is your name Demon? If your name is Demon, then I know you. Share. Yo, I guess your name is Demon in Discord. Uh, yo, let's go. Okay, I've seen you then, I guess. Okay. Here we need a vector that is like two-dimensional. We'll call it dist vector of vector storing f32, which is not a file, is it? Equals a new vector. Hmm. U for p n coordinate dot iter, right? And no, instead of p, I would rather like to have the index Wait, can I do if I have if coordinates 0 equal, can I compare 2 points? I cannot compare 2 points. Okay. But if this was C++, I could have added a function there. But I guess I can add a function here also using some method. I can add share. I can actually add. I think I can add a function. Impel. I think this is how we do it. Impel this. Okay. How you okay, for a step in Rust. Partial equal. Okay, we will not get into this. I mean, I do not want to get into this. If you want to, you can go there. For I n from 0 to not 1000, but the length of data dot length. Yeah, for j in 0 to -1, here also -1, and if I is not equal to j, and yep, we will also need how can we give a size? Can we give a size to a vector? Vector new examples. The vector will not allocate until elements are pushed into it. Constructs a new empty vector with a there might be reversals. Vec that is a macro. A macro is something. Okay, yes, we can do this. 5 integers where the values are this. Let cur equals vec where the values would be float maximum float value. Maximum float value in Rust is okay. Types are namespaces. Makes sense. And how many that would be? Data dot length. If I this will go there, right? And if I is not equal to j, then we will say the distance between the I point and j point is going to be let d equals f32 equals under root square root f32. Yeah, let's go square root f32 of coordinates I dot x, yep, into coordinates j dot x. Something wrong. Call to unsafe function is unsafe and requires an unsafe. Hey, what? Square root in Rust. Y dot. Okay, that is amazing. Actually amazing. Look at this. Always tell. The weirdest is Go. There's name mangling, but doesn't allow operator overloading. But the fuck? You already doing it. Just use some. I've seen a meme which might be related. It is that like we have structures which have functions. Go says this, and yeah, but we are not object oriented. That is something Go says. Okay, so let's remove this square root function. Uh, this will be the sum. This thing plus 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 all these. Substitute x with y globally, and here substitute x with z globally. Cool. And we will say cur current j equals d dot. Okay, there is some problem. Cool. This is now mutable. We have a two-dimensional thing of things, two-dimensional vector of distances between 2 points, where the points are the indices of those points. Shit, okay, he was sorting at Go for some of its quirkiness, which was causing the code to fail to compile. Not gonna lie, I really relate. Time to time, shit. I yeah, I guess I am a poser because I cannot relate. I will have to make projects to get a real job instead of just like doing some small programs. Like I really love the language. It is honestly one of the best language to work in. Like it just works. There is literally nothing else to which it and which is amazing. But this quirkiness, no bounds, knows no bounds. I guess I don't know. I guess trade-offs. Dist dot push. If it is possible. If we dismutable, let's go. We have a two-dimensional thing to display things. Okay, for v in, let's say, this dot iter print ln. Can we do this? We just okay. Mm. How to print a vector in Rust if there is a built-in function like this? Okay, let's go. Yeah, do all this. Rust c compile dot slash out, and That might actually be correct. I don't know. Okay, some of these distances are actually big, and not some of these. This one is big, which is self-explanatory. Not I know. This one is very big because this has like e power 38, and this is very big because by default every value is very big here. Every number in the vector is the maximum possible number, and we are only changing the values if they are not equal to each other for the elements which are not at the diagonal. So that is cool. Now we need to store these as a set. We will store these as a map. We will store these as a map, or what we can like simply do is we can create a vector. We can create a single vector which is very long and store these distances as one element in a different structure, like struct this distances, and where distance would be of type F32 and one. Shit. Okay, shit, we have the distances like two times. We do not want them two times. We only want them one time. Yep, we do not want the distances two times. So we will only calculate values for like on one side of the diagonal. Like, what are all the languages you time? Rust, what font and theme you use for new imp? Let's go. Font, I suppose, is Tokyo Night. Color scheme, Tokyo Night. Let's go. Tokyo Night version of Tokyo Night. And font, I guess this is the default font in NeoVim. Or this mono. Yeah, this is like mono font where the font is like for coding, and it is the LSP which is changing all of these things around. And yep, we have a problem, and the problem is that since we have a single points array in one dimension and the same points array in another dimension, let's say we have 3 points, point number 1 2 3, we have the same points on the other dimension, 1 2 3, and when we are calculating distances on the diagonals, for the diagonals where the x and y values are equal to each other, right, we will set these to maximum, right, to the maximum possible value. But for all the at the other places we will calculate some value. Here would be the distance between point number 1 and 2. Here would be the distance between point number 1 and 3, 1 comma 3. Here would be 1 comma 2, and here would be 2 comma 3. Now what we do not want is to recalculate these distances on other places. Like for example, here we will calculate distance between 2 and 1, and here we will calculate distance between 3 comma 1, and here we will calculate distance between 3 comma 2. This is something that we do not want. So we do not want to calculate distances for these points because we already have the distances here, because distance between point 1 and 2 is the same as distance between point 2 and 1. So Yeah. And we can do this by checking if the first number is smaller than the second number. Only then we will calculate the distance. Otherwise, we will not calculate anything. And I think that would make sense. Wait, I am not getting back to CF right now. I want to make projects and like get an paid internship. So yeah, and I guess I've done quite a little bit, a little tiny bit in CF and gotten like fine. Yeah, I won't say I'm good at CF, but yeah, I'm at this point a bit fine, and right now I'm not pushing forward in that direction. And yes, other things. Okay. Yep. So this is what we can do, and this is almost CP. Almost. Okay. Distance. Let's say I 32 and J I 32. Distances. This is what we will store, and we will store this not as a vector of vector. Right here we cannot do this, and here we cannot do this, and yep, distance is something, and here we will not do this, and here we will not do this, and here we will check a few things. First, this, and I smaller than this. With okay, my bad. We can just check for I smaller than j. If I is smaller than j, only then calculate the distance, and we can actually just put the distance in the vector. Yep. Let this, just in case, dist, dist where the dist is d dot square root, and I is I, and j is j. Shared mismatch times I had to do, and found u size dot, is there a 2 int type I32? I31? No, not I31. This is okay. No, this is not okay. Function expected. Found bulletin. U I to I32. Rust. How to convert U size to I32 as no problem there. Okay. I32. And push this onto this list dot push this. Okay, now wait what? Uh, fields in struct, they are never read. That is fine. We are going to read them later on. Now we need to sort if there is a sort function in this dist dot sort by expected one argument. So I guess fun. Ignore previous comment. Okay, completely crying. Gurulaya KR KNR style. Huh? Okay, Go only allows Karnigan and Richie. Let's go. That is cool. If you wrote your program in such a way that garbage collection runs as few times as possible to gain maximum performance, still it will run every fixed interval and you cannot do anything because yes, this is the same problem which was faced by Discord, and I think you suggested to read the Discord thing. It runs, I guess, every 3 minutes or something, every some minutes, and Go garbage collection runs. Also, why are you using I32? You can use U32 for INJ since they can never be negative. I'm not using anything for INJ. They are like self-defined. Wait, here I can, yeah, here I can do that. Because they can never be negative for this, it is fine. But what if the entries are greater than, yeah, in that case, it would be cool. I can store twice the data, but I would just rather go with 64. If size is the constraint, let's see how do we provide a function, a compare function. There must be examples. Let's go. A dot compare. These are the function parameters, and A dot compare B. A comma B. And wait, how were we returning stuff? Okay, nothing to return, just a space and compare. Okay, A dot this dot compare is smaller than B dot this. If that makes sense. So now everything is dot CMP. A dot Rust F32 is not an iterator. The following trait bounds were not satisfied. F32 iterator. Huh? You have to say that this is, yeah, then wait, even if it would be here. No. Wait, don't we say that this thing is mutable? Expected, comma, found, mute. How to pass between the two F32 values in Rust to sort function, let's see. Yes, some, wait, no, no, how do I sort out this thing? Total compare B. Returns ordering between, okay, mismatch between the two. Here our dist is also mutable. bulb, but this thing is not. I think A dot dist, which is type F32, is not being able to compare total compare sort by dist a vector of structures F32 total compare. This method was specifically added to provide ordering enums. Ordering is a type of enum which is enum. This might have a couple of values from a given number of values and only one value at a time by sort function while adhering to the total constraint. It replaces nan values consistently, uses before all other numbers. Okay, this method on width slices except ordering, partially compare, wrap, mismatch types. Okay, one is a reference, but the other one is not a reference. Which one is a reference? It's not a reference. Both of them should be a reference. Let's go. Okay, this does work. Now the distances are sorted for I, where we can just print. Yep, print ln like this, like so, Wesley, and comma dist, or maybe not. Shit, dist does not implement debug because it is a vector of not integers but distances. Okay, my bad, my bad. For d and dist should be in print ln like this and d dot dist string. Let's go. And this will print distances, one distance on a line, on one line. Hmm. Warning, fields in this struct are never read. It does not matter. Does not matter. Okay, the maximum distance is this, and the minimum distance is like at the top at some point. Okay, let's use the test case. Main.rs and data. Wait, that like Rust is okay with this. That is cool. Okay, and let's also print these points. D dot I D dot J. Shit, not just this. Yes, okay. We do not want to just print the indices of the points. We want to print the actual points. So one, and here this is the index, and the points are in date chord. Yes, points are in coordinates bracket and d dot I dot comma or dot a. X should have what? Copy. VF comma back or copy F dot P. P, two things are there, and one, two, three. Okay, and X, then Y, then Z, but it is like not working. Replace with J, F, I, J, J, and go back, find X, replace with Y, forward, find X, and replace with Z. Wait, what is the error now? Rest C point cannot be indexed by I32. You were right. You were right. Which language today? Let's go. Today is Rust. Part 1 was hard, but if you solve it, then part 2 is quite easy. I had to remove code for part 2. Uh, I had to remove code for shape. Okay, so that seems too easy. Part 1, I am doing using just n square time complexity. That seems to be the way to go there for part 1. And one more thing that we should do is today's language is Rust. As we can change these to U and as U32, as U32. Okay, and wait, this should point cannot be indexed by U32. The trait slice index point is not implemented for U32. Coordinates T dot I as U size. That works. Okay, we need something similar here. DI as U size. Go there. Same thing. Go here. Same thing. Let's go. Okay, and now we will be able to see like actually dot slash out and data. Let's go. Okay, so here we are saying that the smallest distance between any two available points is between the points this 57, 618 and 57 and okay 57 and 542, 57 and 542. Let's see. That is wrong. Shared. The closest points are these two, not the ones that we ended up at. Yo, let's go. New Vim. Yep. New Vim is cool. I used long. It didn't overflow. Wait, long for storing the distance. I really like C++. I really like C++. When coding in some other language, I like long for writing in C++. Wait, but long, we need double, right? Because the distance is going to be in decimal because we are calculating square root. So long does not make sense, I think. But my answer is like wrong. Wait, are we parsing these? Is there any number? Yes, there is 57. 61857. Yes, there is a number 57. And that is the closest with this thing. I guess we messed up somewhere. I mean, I messed up somewhere. Because this thing says the closest junction points are these two. But I don't think so. I didn't even do shit. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. You are smart. Yes. Do APL tomorrow. Shit, APL is also why I think Brian Kernighan. It will be fun to watch. Don't know if I can say the same for writing though. Okay. Shit. People just want enjoyment for themselves. They don't think the other person might be suffering a little bit. Mm. Okay, we messed up somewhere. And by the way, that is a nice idea. Not doing square root. Because if the square root of a number is smaller than some other numbers square root, then their square will also have the same comparison between. That is true. Hydration. Just a random file whose name is 3. And if we go to the file, we have this. Me.rs. Okay, we are not calculating the thing proper. Okay, we can avoid this square root. Yes, and wait, maybe this, yeah, this might not be like big enough to hold the value. That is why we might be getting errors. Let's say int 64. Yes, I do get the error. Here we'll say instead of F, substitute F32 with I64 on the whole line. Or forget to press enter. Substitute F32 with I64 enter. And this also I64. Errors are gone. Let's go. And we do not have to do this. We can just say dot compare, hopefully. Yes. Let's see dot slash out. And now let's not go share. This is wrong. This is wrong. I dot x into coordinate j dot dot x. Here the points that we are seeing are the smallest is 162 and 425. Okay, 425 is the last one. Maybe we are never seeing 425. If I remove this point from here, right, and put this, let's say, here, will we see the thing? Okay, no, there is some other error. I thought maybe we are somehow not getting the last point, but we are getting the last point. 57 is the second, so it would not make sense if we are getting 57. Wait, 162? 162 is the first point. Maybe we are not getting the first point. Main.rs. Yep, let's go. 162 is the first one. Paste. Wait, that does not make sense. What did copy, new line, paste, go till the end, copy, or maybe we can even delete this thing and now the points which give the smallest distance are like not at the edges. And do we get them? We do not get them. We are still getting other points. In this example, two junction points which are closest together are these. And the way that we are deciding the distance. Okay, okay, officially I am very stupid. Whole code I forgot to account for. Wait, that to me looks like a human with two eyes and a straight face. But that, oh shit. ELM works on Erlang VM. Okay. But that seemed like it was said in general since I once did something similar in OpenGL on and was confused by what the fuck is not omitting correct output it. In theory, leverage. Okay, bro is now flexing like is sending cross with minus sign here. Okay, yes, we. This is horrible. This is horrible. We don't just multiply these points together. We take their difference and we square their difference. What is this? This is not even like remotely correct. This thing in oh, is there a square function or do we have to literally multiply them? Look at this. Power and ID lists. Power function and Rust. Let's go. Power function in Rust, and we have a built-in power function. Hmm. Let's we can just multiply them. That might actually be good practice. Hmm. Okay. And we can change this now with the actual test input, which is this. Okay, cool. And yes, press C dot dash out, and the smallest distance is between hopefully 162 and 1 what 431. No, no, no. 162 is correct, but 431 is no. Wait, are we not getting 420? We might not be getting 420 ever. Yes, we are not getting 420. Wait, there are like 400 entries. Yeah, we are not getting the last number. Just maybe that is because this thing is non-inclusive. So we would not like to do -1. And we'll see. Otherwise, we will see some error if this does not work. 425, no shit. Okay. Wait, 420. Yes, now we are getting the correct thing. Okay, now we are getting 425 and 162. Earlier we were getting 431. Okay, yes, that was the error. And yep, that is cool. The thing was when we do 0 to this second range, the second number is not inclusive, it is exclusive. So we go one less than that number. Okay, that is just flex at this point. Let's go. Okay. Okay. I think you are a good human being. Okay, I'm like a big Dune nerd. And yes, Masiha, let's go. Shit. Dune is cool. Dune is cool. Dune is cool. Dune is the school. Have you read the book Dune? Frank Herbert. We have the distance. And now the real thing begins. Okay. Shit, we have just solved like half of the problem. Okay. LSP info. Uh, log size 92 KB is cool. Comment out this thing. Now, the book, I just saw the movies. There are two, multiple, duology and hopefully trilogy. Perhaps my sister would be interested in reading. Dune is cool. Dune is cool. Like one of the best things ever. The first book, I can vouch for the first three books. They are amazing, absolutely amazing. The third book is going to literally destroy you. I would not say the same for the next three books. There are in total six books, and the first three were planned by the man, Frank Herbert, to be like to represent his ideas. But the next three, the last three in the six books, he wrote because he wanted money for his wife. His wife wanted to buy a new house, and he wrote like three new books to get money. But yeah, fourth one is cool. I've only read the fourth one, and I don't know if I'll read the fifth and the sixth one. Okay, now we do have this. Okay, we do have the distances in the increasing order. That is good. Now, what we need to know is whenever we are at a particular distance, we need to know, is this point, does this point already, has this point already been added to our list? Yes or no? And like just that, first of all. And second, if it is, then are these 2 points already inside a circuit? I think we can just use a map. Wait, yeah, no, we cannot just use a map. We can use a map, 1,000, a map which is going to have a set as values. A map whose value will be the set. The Rust book has already destroyed me. I didn't know all the things I have been writing up till now have been unsafe. Lol. Shit. What does it sound like? GOT season 8. Wait, they also did that for money? The last season was like actually bad. When I was watching GOT, I was very stupid, and I still, a stupid person like me was able to say, this is bad. This is not good. Expect that was directors who wanted money. Shit. They they actually messed up with the last season. Like, yeah. If you look at Walter White, Breaking Bad, the last season was actually peak. Felina, the last episode was peak. How to make a map in Minecraft. How to make a map in Minecraft. Crafting an empty map. If you want to, we can craft a empty map and gather the materials, craft a compass, craft the empty map and complete the recipe, drag the empty map that appears into your inventory. So I guess we create a empty map and then we put things into the empty map. Okay, so that is too much detail for a single character to have. Actually, A2, A24. Damn, Samsung board is fucking good. C2H4. Shit. Meat. Mm, b- ethanol. Shit, is this ethanol? It might be ethanol. Not map. Yes, map and Rust. Wait, Rust is also a game. Custom maps for game. No. How to make uh how to make a key value pair. Hash map. Collections, hash map. Okay. Yes. Collections, set, hash, set. Okay. Wait, what is the difference between hash map and hash map? Hash map implemented with quadratic probing with single input multiple SIMD. Yes, single input multiple data lookup. Normal map like the everyday map. Collections and hash set tool. And now what we want is let response no let map. Yes. Map of type hash map where the key is going to be of type U32. Yeah, okay, let's yes, U32. And the value is going to be of type map, and inside a map we will have U32. Right, and the name is already map equals. Okay, since we messed up. Hashed set. Let's go. Hash let mutable while rem there is Let's first of all solve this for the test case where we are only making how many pairs? I guess we are only making 10 pairs after making 10 short connections. Shortest, yes. So yes, 10 normal checks. Okay, root longest carbon chain meth eth 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 is 2. Eth means 2, right? And you said it benzene does not even make sense. Ethene, yeah, I'm sure about the eth part, but benzene, not even close. No. Wait, shit, that was benzene. Wait, is that an like actual benzene? That would be cool. That might actually be benzene. That is even funny. Okay, shit, they do have benzene. That is cool. That is cool. Detailed one. Yup, it is benzene. It is benzene. It is actually benzene. It is actually benzene. Like, no kidding. Yes, we are going back to normal size. Back to our old ways again. Okay. While remainder is greater than 0, while we have something remaining to do. Yes, we will also have let mutable. No, for d in this, yes, at the end, we will check if rem equals 0. Then break, and before breaking, okay, d dot I and j are the candidates for this current connection. What we have to check is if they are already connected or not to each other. Yes, that is all we need to check. Shit. You were right. Shit, where is Anshu Singh? Shit, yes, you were right. You said that this one is a bit difficult. Long for me, part one was hard. Yes, I agree. I agree. I agree because we are not talking about direct connection here. We are talking about indirect connection here also. Indirect connection would also be considered as a connection. What is the plan after you see a project? Project. Shade better screen. Okay, it is. Yeah, it is like showing weirdly in mine. I guess it is showing better. Maybe you can take a screenshot and send that also here using your Samsung keyboard. That would be cool. Okay. Shit. Yes, this one is difficult. graph where we have edges, but we will not have cyclic graphs. We will just have graphs. Hmm. Okay, yes, this is a bit difficult. Yes. All of the edges. There are unoptimal ways to do this. Yes, there are unoptimal ways to do this, which are like actually good. They would work. They would work because at max we want to make 1000 pairs. So yes, we have to make at max 1000 pairs. For a cyclic connection, those two other points which we are in the current 2 points which we are trying to connect, they must be in the same circuit to make a cycle. And yes, those are the only things that we need to identify, and not just that. Shit, shit. We can do this very unop okay, we can do this in a way that I do not like, but I think that would be the only way. Okay, what we are going to do is, shit, we are like actually going to do this. Okay, what we are going to do is, since we have a lot of points and some of them are connected to each other, and yep, let's say they are connected in some way, like like so. And let's say we are currently trying to make a connection between this point and this point, these 2 points. What we can do is we will store this graph as an adjacency list, and like we have 2 points I and j on which we want to make a connection. What we can do is run DFS or BFS on I, probably DFS. We let's say this one is I and this one is j. We will run DFS on I and we will see is at any point I already connected to j. And in this case, it would be yes, it is connected. So do not make a connection here. And if I were not connected, if we were trying to connect this point, let's say with this point here, and it would turn out that this point is not connected to this point directly or indirectly, then to the adjacency list of this point and this point, we will update them, and that will show a connection between them, and we will also decrement our remainder variable by 1 because we just made one new edge. So for we will be running DFS 1000 times. And this is not very bad because like big O of 1000 multiplied by at max, let's say all of the points till this point, have been connected in a linear line or some sort of fashion. And therefore, if you run a DFS on one point, it will go through all of the points. And even if we are like that worse off at max, there, yes, we are going to run the DFS 1,000 times. And in the worst DFS case, we are going to have like, let's say around 1,000 nodes, even though it is not going to be 1,000, it is going to be 999, but let's say 1,000. Even then, the time complexity is 10 power 6, which is very adjustable for a language like Rust or for any language. Yep. So we need to write a function that will, yep, work its magic. Okay. If in DFS this thing takes in u type u30 or u size, the index of the first one, and j u size, and the whole adjacency list, which is going to be a two-dimensional vector adj type vec u size. Okay, no problem with that. That's good. And this thing at the end will return a bool, or we don't even have to say this. We can just say was, and this thing works. That is cool. Okay. This is going to have some other function which is going to call itself. Yes, and they also need to share a variable. And like implementing DFS is not too much hassle, but doing it in Rust is a bit of hassle. Okay, now we'll just call this function again and again. We need a visited list. Yes, we do need a visited list. Yep, we do need a visited list. We do need a visited list. Are you going to pass it? Yes. Visited type with bool. Okay, and we are going to in I for x in adj I. I cannot move out. Me cannot move out of index. May occur because value this does not implement the copy. Can I say can I say this? Okay, that is not good. Oh, consider iterating over a slice content to avoid moving shade. My bad. Okay, X if not visited X. That is how we do not. Uh, wait, why can we not index? That is bad. Season 4, wait, what? It's GOT, that is cool. Part 1 done. Nope, I'm still doing. And my approach is for every dis shit, for every distance that I like, for every new edge that I'm adding, I will run DFS and check if these two are already connected or not. That is my stupid idea, but I think that is, I do not think if there is a better way to do this. Running DFS for every time that we are inserting a edge seems to be the way to go here. We cannot even index into X. Shade, because it is like, okay, that was not the problem. Let's see the type bool cannot be indexed by use size. The trait slice index bool is not implemented for use size. The following use size implements this and this required for bool to implement index use size. That does not even make sense. Bool is the type of value that has nothing to do with what the index is. Right. A lot of time in part 1, but not much in part 2. Okay. I used a vector and marked and the vector by its index itself and started my closest distance vertex. Wait. Okay, you have not, for calculating the distance, there is no other way, I think, other than doing n square time algorithm and going through all the possible pairs and calculating the distances. I think there is nothing better than that we can do. I think, yep, I think that is one of the best things that we can do. And I used a vector and marked the vector by its index vector for points. I think so. You are defining a point by a vector, I think, and y- yes, for mapping the circuit. Yep, I'm also going to store the map as a graph, or yeah, as a graph, the whole thing. The final finished product is going to look something like this, if this makes sense. Yep. Nodes connected in a graph through edges. But we can, rest see the type bool cannot be indexed by type. You see, we are not indexing bool. We have a vector which is storing boolean values, and we are indexing that vector. Visited variable. Okay, no problem with this, but there is a problem with X. We cannot. There is a problem with X. There is a parent. Let's go. Okay. Wait. For D in this. Okay, we didn't do anything, so we didn't see any problem. And here we were using indexes, so no problem there, and my phone is going to die. Okay, that makes sense because like we are getting an iterator and we have to go to that iterator using go to syntax. Makes sense. Okay, if x not visited, then visited x equals true, visited x equals true, and if x go to x equals j, then return from here true. Otherwise, start DFS from X, find J and ADJ is this visited is visited. Good words. ADJ is borrowed as immutable. Who is telling you these things? Uh, cannot borrow. Go to. Okay, it is borrowed as immutable. How can I say that I want go to X? Let's say I here. Okay, then also there is a problem. Okay, so the problem is not X but something else. Guru X is mutable because it is also borrowed as if I wait, the phone is not charging, I think. Okay, shit. Okay, cool. It's charging now. Yep. Yo, I try to sort the hash map. Shade, bro, sorting the hash map. Hash map sorting. I have sorted the whole points part at least. So I can like find distances very quickly. Rust C cannot borrow this as mutable because it is also borrowed as immutable. Borrow occurs here. Yeah, we can like exactly see where the borrow occurs. Rust C cannot borrow. Okay. Rust C cannot borrow. Go to ADJ as immutable. Who is share? Let's go. I think cannot borrow ADJ. Rust another cannot borrow ADJ as immutable. Why? Who even says that ATJ is immutable? Like, show them to me. Okay. Let's see. Arguments for this function are incorrect. Expected mutable. That is like literally what I said. Found a reference which is immutable. Rest C types differ in mutability. Immutable borrow. Wait. Immutable, borrow, late. Shit. Is that it? Here we are using ADJ as something. Does not matter. We are using ADJ as something here. I think it does matter. Immutable borrow. So here ADJ is being borrowed by this iter function as immutable value. And here we are passing the same ADJ variable as a mutable, which is not possible. At the same time, we cannot have a mutable reference and an immutable. We cannot have a mutable and an immutable reference at the same time in Rust. So, what is salvation here? Go to X. We cannot actually do anything here. Wait, this is like actually a edge case. We are not changing ADJ. That is one thing. We are only changing visited. So we can remove. Let's go. Let's go. And what's the problem here for visited? Rust analyzer cannot mutate immutable. Who said that visited is immutable? Uh, Mr. Einstein, let's go. Okay. I think we can pass ADJ as it is. Yes, we can pass ADJ as it is. That is cool. That is function DFS is never used. Okay. That is good. That is good. That is good. Yes, that is good. We can perform DFS. We can do DFS. We can do DFS. We fields in this struct. Okay. We can do DFS. That is good. Fields I, J are never does, does not matter. Okay, mutable remaining equals 10. Now we are actually in the mess. Midst. If rem equals 0, then break. Otherwise, okay, D. If DFS D dot I, D dot J are connected. This is doable. No problem. No problem. We need to create a adjacency matrix. Let's do that. Type vector u size yes and equals vec vec this thing which is something and the type we that is cool, that is cool. We are saying we need a vector of vectors new and we need data dot length amount of these. We have our adjacency vector, and let visited is a type of vector of Boolean values equals vec new false. How many values there are? Data dot length amount of values. Yeah, data dot. Now the problem is that we are like creating this vector. Yeah, like we are creating this vector on every iteration, this new vector of Boolean values, and this is going to have 1000 elements. Maybe something that would be better would be to use a single vector but clean it every time. How to clean a vector in Rust dot clear output this no no, and existing vector in Rust with some value. How to, yes, how do we fill our existing vector with some value? Filling with a repeated no, dot iter go to element, make it equal to something else. Okay, let's see. Really go. If DFS, we are checking d dot I, is it connection connected with d dot j, where the adjacency matrix is this, and visited is this. Let's go. Arguments to this function are incorrect. Okay, what are they incorrect about? I and j in d, which we can actually change and say size if that does not create errors. If okay, it's ADJ is also mutable. Okay, if no connection, do if these two things are not connected, then we will say ADJ or DI dot push J and ADJ DJ dot push I. And here we'll have to wait what? Cannot find I and J in this scope. That is very true. Rem and this and rem minus minus, which we cannot do. Rem equals rem minus 1. Or do we have minus? We do have minus equal to rem minus equals to 1. And wait, what map we have? No, we do not need a map of so collection hash map and hash set not being used, and this is good. This is good. Let's put forward whenever we make a connection, connect, yes, connection, edge, we will say the ones which are connected. Di got connected to dj. as you I if that makes sense. Okay, that does not make sense. D dot I comma D dot J. That does make sense. Okay. Slash out and run. Okay, we first connected the first one and the last one, which is absolutely amazing to do. Okay, 0 is connected to two things only. If we were to make a graph, okay, let's make a actual graph for testing purposes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or instead of printing +1. Yes, we can do +1. That is good. I thought maybe we cannot do +1 because d dot j is of type u size and 1 is apparently not of type u size, but I guess it is of type u size now. Yeah, 1 and 20 are connected. Okay, this is node number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We will show the connections with this. These two are connected, 1 and 20. 1 and 8 are connected. 5, 6, 7, 8. These two are connected. Cool. And then 3 and 4 are connected. Let's use some other color. 3 and 4 are connected. Then 8 and 20 are connected. 8, 8, this one, 8, and they cannot be connected. Shit. That is a cycle. Shit. They couldn't be connected. Ah, shit. Okay. We messed up. We actually did mess up. Because these two things cannot be connected to each other. Is this DFS ever saying false? No. Never. Okay. So DFS is wrong in some way. Shit. This does not make sense. This thing is always returning false, even when the two things are connected to each other. DFS go to X, pass in the same J, update the with is when we are checking and passing in the visited share visited d comma I equals true. We did visit this thing just now, but I don't think that would like turning factor. Yes, that was not the thing which was messing stuff up. DFS is cool. I don't see any problem with this. If we go to X and it is not visited. Only then we go to X. Okay, okay. DJ, and when we are calling DFS here, we are checking if DI and J are connected to each other in any way. In which case you would have sent forward looking if this thing is connected to this thing or not, which is 8 and 20, are they connected to each other or not, this one and this one. And here when we are going through X, and yes, I'm using mouse and Vim, which is like very bad, but anyways, when we are, yeah, when we are here, this X would become like equal to this thing. Yep, yes, because we are making the change in ADJ right here. Yep, and the ADJ that we are sending forward is a reference, so that is also a good thing. But this thing is saying like nothing is connected to anything else, which is crazy. Here, let's say hello, rest c dot slash out, and okay, we do see hello, we do see hello. When we were connecting 8 by 20, this one by this one, we saw hello twice, which means we went to this. From there, we went to this. Okay, which is like actually crazy. We should have seen that these two things are connected to each other. Pass I comma J I comma if I equals J. Share, yes, this is what we need to do. If I equals J, return true. Don't check anything here. I think now we are very well off. Dot slash out. No, we are not very well off. 8 and 20 are still being connected to each other. Well, that should have actually worked, but anyways, life I equals J print ln uh, I comma J. Do we need to do this? Yes. Slash out, and okay, there has to be a distinction between the things that we are printing, meaning compile and run. Okay, they were checking 0 and 19, which is cool. Then they made this connection. Then when they were trying to make a connection between 1 and 8, they checked if 1 and 8 are change the thing which is being printed. Okay, when we yes, when we were trying to make a connection between 0 and 7, we checked if 0 and 7 are connected to each other, and then we saw that 0 is connected to 19. Then we checked if 19 and 7 are connected, and they are not connected, so that is cool. So we made this connection. Then we connected 2 and 13, which is like a random connection. Then we wanted to connect 7 and 19, which are connected to each other because 0 is connected to 19 and 0 is connected to 7. So 7 and 19 are indirectly connected. So here first we saw if 0 and 19 are connected to each other, then cool. 7 and 19 are connected to each other, then cool. Then we checked if 0 and 19 are connected to each other, which they are. So when we were this DFS is actually bad. Wait, why would I return? Okay, shit. Okay, that is bad. This makes sense. If DFS, then but false and false. Shit. Now we are seeing cannot connect. Let's go. Okay, here we see that 1 and 20 are connected to each other, 1 and 20 are connected to each other, then 1 and this one are connected to each other. That is cool. Hello, how to start puzzle solving as a beginner? Just start solving. Is a liar. I tried to sort the hash map. Okay, that is from earlier, but DFS is a liar. That does not make grammatical sense. I think if we are treating DFS as an entity, then it might be. But yeah, the error was in DFS. Like these addend of lead code. Wait, you can just look at the addend of code first day and start solving. There's not like you have to take a course or something. You can just start solving. Main.rs, no. Here we see 3 and 4 are 3, 3 and 14. My bad. 3 and 14. 10, that this one would be 14. Let's use green for that. 3 and yes, this is 14. So 3 and 14 are connected to each other. Then 18 and 19, these two are connected to each other. Cool. Wait, 18 and 19, these two are connected to each other. Then 10 and 13, 10 and 13, that would be red. 10 and 13 are connected to each other, and if you were to like remove the random things all around, looks better. Right. 10 and 13, these are connected to each other. Okay, and then 12 and 17 are connected to each other. Let's use a random color. 12 and 17. This is 12 and this is 17. These two are connected to each other. Then 3 and 9. 3. This is 3 and 9. This is 9. They are connected to each other. Then 15 and 20. This is 15 and this is 20. So let's go red. Red is very big. 15 and 20 are connected to each other. Then 3 and 19. Okay. Increasing in size. 3. Wait, 3 and 19 is crazy. 3 and 19 is actually crazy. 3 and 19, that is green, green. We will, yep, we'll remove this and we'll also make this one green. Let's go. 3 and 19 are connected. And then 4 and 20. Just shit. Red is very big. Red is very big. And I think this is wrong. Yeah, I think this is wrong. Here we had 5, 3, and 2. 5, 4, and 2. Red has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 connections. And green has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connections. And brown has 2 things in it. And the nodes which are not connected to anything is 1 in this row and 3 in this row, 4, 2, 6, 1, 7. 7 is cool, but the distribution in the components is not good. Distribution in the components is not good. Okay, the yep, 3 and 4, I think till 3 and 4 we have made the same connection as in this, right? The first one was this 162 and 162 and 425, and the first connection that we made was between 1 and 20. 1 is 162 and 20 is this one. That is correct, same as this. Then the next connection is between 162 and 431. 162 and 431. 162 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 8. 1 and 8. Let's go. Then 3.14. Let's go. Then the next connection was between 906 and 805. 805 and 906. 906 is 3. So 3 between 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 3 and 14. Correct. Then 19, 18 and 19. 18 and 19. So according to us, next connection between should be between this and this, which is 862 and 984. 862 and 984. And the actual connection is, okay, this is already there. This process continues for a while. Okay, this they just say that this process continues for a while. Wait, maybe even when we are not making a shit, even when we are not making a connection, we are not. Shit. Here we have this many connections and one is 3, 1, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have now 9 connections. We do not have this last one, 4 and 2. Let's go. We do not have the last connection, which is between 4 and 20, which is this one. And now red does have 5 things, but green still has a lot of things. 5, which is not very good. 1 and 20. Let's make the connections again, just in case we messed up. Just in case we messed up. Yo, day 2, I'm doing errand for day 2. Let's go. Yeah, it's Rogn. You can solve them and then try to optimize your code as well. Just try to implement your logic. There is no time limit in these problems. Yep, it should be 5 4, then 2 2 5. I think the connections you did later are wrong. It should only check for connections which are not already connected in any circuit, as 19 was already in circuit and should not be connected to 3. 19, 3 is this, 19 is this, and we do have 3 and 19, but 3 and 19 are not in the same circuit, right? 19 is connected to 18 and 18 is not connected to anything else. So yeah, here we just had 19 and 18 just going about their happy life, and 3 on the other hand was connected to 9 and to 14. So yes, we can connect 3 and 19 because they are not connected to each other. I think there is no problem in that. The only problem would be if those points are connected to each are or like belong to the same circuit. Let's see. Okay, let's make the connections. Like I'm also getting tired because I had to go to college today. I've had 1 and 20 are connected to each other. Okay, and if this like if something comes up which is wrong with this, then maybe I'll do this problem later on off stream because yeah, there's no doesn't seem to be any point in pushing. Okay, 1 and 8, 1 and 8 after a refresher would be cool. Okay, 6, 7, 8. These two, 1 and 8 are connected. Then we have 3 and 4 are connected. Let's use green. 3 and 4. Then 18 and 19, just about going their merry way, which like they will be connected to this one later on. 18 and 19 are connected to each other. Then 10 and 13, I don't think they will be connected to anything else. Okay, 10, which is this, and 13. These two are connected to each other. That is cool. 10 and 13, then 12 and 17 are connected to each other and they have not been connected to anything else. 12 and 17 are connected. That's cool. 3 and 9, 3 and 9. Okay, these are like strange connections. 3 and 9, and now the last one, second last one, 15 and 20. 15 and 20, which is this, just a straight line here. And 3 and 19. Wait, this is good. This is like 1 2 3 4 5, and in this 1 2 3 wait, okay, my bad, it is correct, this is correct. Hello, my first end sim ended, got a month of break, and sparkle, let's go. Wait, Takezo Miyamoto, are you from Japan? Niho if you are from Japan, but if you are not from Japan, then have you watched One Piece? One Piece is cool. Gintama is also like cool. Gintama is pretty good. Is 18? Look at this. You are saying that we cannot make this connection, right? But what is the problem in making this connection? Connecting this one and this one. The only points when we cannot make a connection is if these 2 points were a part of the same circuit, but these are part of different circuits. So we can make a connection. There's like no problem with that. Lucky from India. Shit, does that ring a bell? The name, or maybe you are just telling about your feeling. That might be your name. I don't know. Okay, now we are getting the right connection. Red has 4 members. Green has 5 members. Even though green looks smaller. Hulk is not small. Blue has 2 connections, and then brown also has 2 connections, which is exactly the thing that they stated here. And that is cool. We don't even, One Piece is too long. I don't think I can watch it now. Well, you did say you have A month is not enough. No, you cannot watch One Piece in a month. Main.rs, we do not need the DFS function. Let's do use the DFS function. Do we need? We can optimize later. Premature optimization is the root of all evil. We can make connection if the other point is not part of any. Okay. Uh, Here, when they are making connection, the first one. Okay. Now, two junction boxes which are closest to each other are not already directly connected, are this and this. Not directly connected are this and this. After connecting them, since this is already connected to another junction box, there is now a single circuit which contains three junction boxes. Yes, an additional 17 circuit. Okay, and then next two junction boxes to connect this and this. After connecting them, there is a circuit containing three junction boxes and a circuit containing two junction boxes, 15 circuits which contain one junction box each. So even these points, these junction boxes which are not connected to anything else, they themselves are being considered as a single circuit. Here they are saying after making 10 shortest connections, there are 11 circuits. 11 circuits. So, and there one circuit which has 15 connections, 15 junction boxes, green one, and one circuit containing four junction boxes, which is the green, the red one, and two containing two junction boxes. Two circuits, this one and this one, containing two junction boxes, and seven circuits with each containing a single junction box. So, if we could not make connection between two circuit boxes which are already a part of a if we could not make any connection between two junction boxes which are already part of a circuit, then we would not even be able to make this connection right here, because we are considering this standalone thing also as a circuit. And I mean, like, you have done the question, I have not done the question, so there is also the advantage that you have over me, strategic advantage. You are having two circuit with size. No, no, no. Rogn. This is good. Yeah, we'll optimize later. We are like almost there. Now we need to automate this part of finding the connections, which is easy. Which is easy, literally, which is easy. Let mutable visited vector false given this false value data dot length. Let's go and flip for I in 0 dot 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 data dot len, and if not visited, not if it's not if I is not visited. Shit, now we need another TFS. We need another TFS to find the size of the circuit. I think I'm doing this in a very, very bad way. Yes, I view size. Yes, I use size. Okay. ADJ vector of view size and visited, which is going to be changed, a vector of bool. and this thing will return AI32. Um, let response type I32 equals 0 and then end this plus 1. What is the problem? Oh, ATFSCNT. Right, and for x in ADJ bracket I cannot move out of index, which is true because we have to say iterator, get iterator. Okay, if not visited, go to x, then visited, go to x equals true. Uh, let's put this in here. I equals true. If not visited x, if we have not gone to x, then that is plus equals dfs cnt go to x comma adj comma visited where mutable reference to visited and this plus equals dfs count go to x adjx and visited. Yep, if we have not visited x, then look for the other things that x might be connected to, including x, including x. Now, here, if we have not visited this thing and vector of I32, or we can say component size, but let's say vector of I32 equals vec new. Okay, and if we have not visited this thing, then let cnt equals dfs count I comma adj comma visited. Okay, we messed up somewhere. Yep, this thing is a reference and this thing is a mutable reference. And restore push count if this is mutable only then. And print ln cmp. Can we do that? We cannot do that. Let's go, let's go, let's go. 5, 4, 2, 2, and 1. And the only thing that I'm worried about is, in this case particularly, is just the time complexity. So if we, why do we have this? Remove, and if we comment this out and uncomment this and uncomment this, how much time is this thing going to take? Okay, shit. Okay, we do not have to worry about time complexity. No, we do have to worry about time complexity because this thing has to be 1000. Okay, this might be. Wait, this is very fast. This is actually very fast. Wait, so that is cool. Actually, that is very cool. Sort. Let's sort. Can we do? We can print this slash out, and let's go. Answer will be 26 into 29 into 39. Okay, okay, and how do I sort it, like in the opposite manner? Uh, we can. Yes. Wait. Shit. Yes. Uh, sort dot reverse a vector in C++. We do have a function literally which says reverse, because earlier read, yeah, that was problematic. Dot reverse, literally dot reverse. Okay. And shit, I forgot that this is just part one. Answer is this thing, which is this comma 0 into this into this 1 into this 2. Let's see dot slash out, and answer as it turns out is 29,406, which is probably is like different from what your answer is. 29,405, 406, 29,406. Okay, some water. Shit, I messed up. By mistake, I pressed backspace. Shit. I pressed hyphen. 29,406. I submitted this. 29,406. Okay, I have to wait for 1 minute. Wait on. Part 2 won't take much. Thank you for the um, support. Shit, I've already spent like quite a bit of time. Rest is complicated. Size for index. Wait, I don't get it. Use size for index. Use size for index. I have a vector. What do you mean? Use size for index. I have a vector. I cannot use size for index. 29,406, and that is the right answer. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Part 2. Let's see if it won't take much. And did I get any points? And yes, you did this like the first. Yeah, Rust doesn't have it. Wait, I guess Rust doesn't have it. Okay, I will beat this guy, Darswarik, but nah, you're too good. You are actually too good. You're like too far ahead. No chance. Okay, part two is small. The elves were right. They definitely don't have enough extension cables. You'll need to keep connecting junction boxes to all in one large circuit, continuing the first reaction which causes all the junction box to form a single circuit is between the junction boxes. This and this, the elves need to know how far those junction boxes are from the wall so they can pick the right extension cable. Multiplying the x coordinates of these two junction boxes, this and this produces this. Continue connecting the closest unconnected pairs of junction boxes together until they are all in the same circuit. Until they are all in the same circuit. What do you get if you multiply together the last? Okay, it's like, wait, shit, yes. I have to go to day8 and .rs fixed rest c part1 .rs output out dot slash out, and the answer is 29,406. And part2 .rs and ct. Now programming or language cd rest c cd Euler cd source elect and main.rs. And okay, I have to make the changes here. I can remove this test case here. Before making the commit, I will remove the test case. But for now, we do need the test case. Okay. When will we know that we cannot make any more connections? We don't need RAM. That is one thing. X1 equals 1 and let mute x2 equals 1. And whenever we make a connection, we will say x1 equals coordinates d dot I dot x, and x2 will be equal to coordinates v dot j dot x. Value not being used anywhere. Nope. At the end, we do not need any of this. Yes, you're right. I had to remove a lot of code to get this right. Uh, Answer is or and Orton ist and Orton ist something x1 into x2. Okay, that is why I said make them equal to 1 each. Yes, 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 yes. Rest C, not part one. Main.rs slash 25,272. 25,270. Let's go. Rest size minus one. Okay, yes, 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 we can do that. We can do that, but mm, yeah, we can do that also if we want to. Okay, we do have the right thing. I'm not using this function. No one is. That is taking time. What we can do is whenever we add something, we can run this BFS count function, and then we'll see if at any point the connection is, if all of them are connected, then we will break out of this thing. But still, even in that case, time complexity will be quite a bit. Yep, but that is okay. That is okay. The last connection is yes, and whenever we are making a connection, we'll say if DFS count. Okay, we will not get any LSP support in here. Part2.rs, select everything, go to language cd or end rust slash Euler source main.rs. So, and when we do this, if the dfs cnt, if d comma I does not matter anything, if adj, we have to make a new visited array. Shit, we have to make a new visited vector. That is too much work. Mutable reference, visited with this thing equals, not specifically 1,000 because like yeah, input can change. If this thing is data dot length mismatched type I32 and use size, we can say treat this thing as I32. If this thing, then just break cd rest Euler source main.rs dot slash out and antworten ist this. Okay, we will not copy paste. We will read the answer. Told you part two is easy. Yeah, part two is easy. I had to do a little optimization. That is it. 7 4 9 9 4 6 1 4 1 6 77499. Wait, look at this. I can do this with one hand, which is not actually very cool. Wait. Yep, okay. 4 61416. 7411 4 61416. Okay, that is the right answer. Let's go. Time it. Time it. You can time it if you want. Oh, that is the right answer. One golden star. Closer. Let's go. Day 8 completed. Leaderboard. That is a thing, but shit. And the thing is, I won't be able to do any of the remaining problems before the new, because this whole week I have my college exams, and shit, I have my college exams. I have to study. And yes, UC, CD, day 08, list, and part 2.rs. I messed up too much. Use, wait, what? Why does this thing not have, why does this thing has only two uses? In case I think, okay, the correct one is it this one, or no, this is not the correct one. The correct one is this one. Let me mute equals this. Yeah, yeah. Yep. That seems to be correct. Yep, that is the correct answer. Let's go. Okay, and is there something that I would like to remove before committing? No, no comments. That is cool. Yep, cool. Day 8 did day 8 in Rust uploaded, not committee, but commit, and it was Origin 2025. Errand of code, let's go. 31% Rust. Yes, today was long. Hey, yep, and that would be it for today's video, today's stream, and thank you for being here. Bye.